Parshas Vayeishev Shishi. Today we're going to learn about Potiphar's wife. Thra saw through astrology that she was destined to be related to Yosef's descendants, not knowing if it would happen, like we're going to learn through Rashi, through her or through her daughter. So she tried to seduce Yosef, and then she was frustrated that she wasn't able to seduce him. So Potiphar's wife slandered him, and Potiphar threw him into prison. And we see how Yosef is going to rapidly rise in position. Pasuk Zayin, Vahi achad v'ramele, it was afterwards, after these things, Vatisa Eishes Hadenov es Eina el Yosef. His master's wife casted her eyes upon Yosef, Vatemer Shichva imi, and said to him, lie with me. Rashi says, Vatisa Eishes Hadenov, Kol makom shenemar acher, whenever it says acher and not acharei, it means samach right away. Pasuk Ches, Vayimain, and he refused. Vayemer el Eishes Hadenov, and he said to his master's wife, Hein Adoni leyoda iti maba bois. Even my master is not concerned about what I do in the house. And whatever he has given over to me. Tes, Einenu Godel Babayis Hazemi Meni. There is no one in the house who's greater than I. And he has not withheld anything from me. Except for you. Mashirat Ishtay, since you are his wife. Now, being that you guys are married, how could I do this great evil and sin to Hashem? Rashi says, the descendants of Noach were commanded to keep the laws of immorality. When she spoke to Yosef every day, he did not listen to her, even to lie next to her or to be with her. She says, even without intimacy, in the world to come. So now the pasuk says, Aleph Vayhi Kayem Hazeh. It happened on a certain day. Yosef came to the house to do his work. And there was nobody, no members of the household were there in the house. Rashi says, Vayhi Kayem Hazeh Kalemer Vayhi. It was when Ka'asher Higia Yom Yuchad. It was a very special day. Yom Tzchok, a day of laughter. Yom Eid Shelahem. It was a day of their festivals. Sholchu Kulam and Beis Avodas Alilim. They all went to the temple of idol worship. Amra Ainli Yom Hogan Lizokak Yosef Kayem Hazeh. So she said, I have no better day to seduce Yosef than today. Amra Lahem Choyla Ani Ve'eni Chelelech. So she told everyone, I am sick and I cannot go to temple. Now, what does it mean, Lasis Malachte? So Rav and Shmuel, you have a Machlekes Rav and Shmuel. Chadam Malachte Mamish. One says actual work, Chadam Lasis Tzrachav Imay, and one says to be intimate with her. El Sheniris Leidmus Diekne Shel Aviv. But a vision of his father's image appeared to him, and he resisted temptation and did not sin. As the Gemara Seta says. Pasuk Yid Beis, Vatis Peseu Bebigdoi, and she grabbed him by his garments. Leimar saying, Shichva imi, lie with me. Ayaze bebigde biyada, but he left his garments in her hand. And he fled and went outside. Rashi says, no Rashi. She called the members of her household and she said, she said to them, to tell their master, look, he has brought an Ivri man to make like a sport with us. He came to me to lie with me. And I called out in a loud voice. Rashi says, this is an abbreviated statement. He has brought us, but it does not state who brought him. She was in fact referring to her husband. Ivri, what does it mean? Ivri, me'ever hanor. It means from the other side of the river. Mibnei Aver, from the descendants of Aver. Pasuk Tezvav, Vayihi kishamoi ki harimoisi koili va'ekra. When he heard that I called out loudly, And I called Vayeishev bigdei etzli. He left his garment with me. Vayonas vayetza chutza, and he fled and went outside. Pasuk Tezvav Adina v'shal Yosef. Yosef. V'atanach bigdei etzli ad bay Adina vel Beisev. She kept his garments with her until Yosef's master came home. V'atidaber elav. She spoke to them. Kadvarim ela leimar. These words sank. Boy elai eved ivri asher hiveis lan l'tzachik bi. The Ivri servant whom you brought us came to me to make a sport with me. Rashi says, the Ivri servant whom you brought to us came to me to make a sport with me. When I called out loudly, he left his garment with me and he fled outside. When his master heard the words that his wife had spoken to him, saying, your servants did these things to me, he became very angry. Rashi says, she told this to him when they were intimate. And this is what it meant. Your servant did these things to me, intimate things such as these. Yosef's master then took him. He put him in prison. A place where the king's prisoners were in prison. And he was there in the prison. Hashem was with Yosef. He granted him chesed. And he made him pleasing in the chief of the prison. Rashi says, he was well received by all who saw him. Says like it says, the chesed is like it says chasuda, which means like very well liked. Pasuk of Beis, the chief of the prison gave over all the prisoners. Gave over all the prisoners that were in prison to Yosef. And everything that was done there was done under Yosef's direction. Rashi says, as the Targum says, it was done at his command. Last pasuk of the day, the chief of the prison could not find the slightest fault in what Yosef did, for Hashem was with him, and whatever he did, Hashem made him successful. Rashi says, for Hashem means that Hashem was with him.